Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to Beyond the Beat. My name is Dave McKenzie. I'm the chief engineer and producer here at the studio. Beyond the Beat is a great music school located in Toronto. I'm not going to go on about it. Today's Metric Monday. We're going to be teaching you how to build a very cool beat, just something simple that a drummer could do. It's building basic beats in Luna. And in today's episode, we're going to sort of dive into how to structure a whole song. So how the building blocks for just how you put a song together. It's really simple. It's basic math. Everyone can do it. And you can make your own music, all right? The other little detail that we're going to be adding to this session is how to build a 16th note drum fill leading into the sections, all right? It really helps give it energy. It's very hip, and I want to teach you guys how to do it. So let's get right into that. Before, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, all right? You could win this bad boy, I'm telling you. Subscribe to the channel, leave comments, hit the like button, and just generally participate. Every time you do, it gives you a chance to win this guitar, okay? So we can throw your name into a raffle on February the 11th of this year. It's coming up soon. And, you know, you might win this guitar. So guys, peace out. Let's get groovy in Luna. I think I've got a little funk kit open up here, all right? So this is an instrument track. We're in Luna. If you're a little lost, just go back and watch one of our other sessions and you should be found, all right? So I've got this grid set to eighth notes. That means that our 4/4 measure, like our 4/4 time measure, has been divided into 8 sections evenly. All right. So there's the simple kick and snare, right? The classic sort of, we'll hit this mix window that comes up and that allows us to adjust our velocity. Luna is a sick software, by the way. If I'm not paid to say that, it really is. It sounds great, so much better. And I'll bring the hi-hats down still. Oh man, I'm gonna break another rule. I've got to just go and find a different snare and kick sound. So on our keyboard side here, so you can see, I'm going to hit E to expand the whole thing. On our keyboard side, and then on this little toggle bar, we can sort of go up in octaves. You'll see how it says C1 here, okay? C1 means the C0 is even lower, but they're saying that it's I guess maybe the second key or the first C key on your piano. So pianos go up in octaves. If I drag, so I've got all of my kick and snare beats highlighted here. Oh, that's why that happens. And then I can drag them up to the next C note. Now this is a different set of samples, okay? So within this one kit that I've chosen, and I'll just go over that quickly here in shape. So because this track is highlighted and we're working out of shape, I just clicked on the shape and then this widget comes up. This is where you choose your kits or whatever you want to put in bass. It's just a software instrument that comes with Luna, and it sounds very, very good. You can make tons of music with this. In fact, you can make like endless albums with this and tweak the sounds yourself and EQ them, and it would sound like no one else's. So, don't wait. Just got a piece of gear, got a piece of like universal audio recording gear, and that will set you up to get Luna for free, believe it or not. You get the software for free with their hardware. So, okay, there's a tighter little kit. I'm happy, all right? So I'm gonna bring the track down to the middle so we can see it, and I'll expand it just so that everything's a little bigger. All right, I'm just using this toggle here in the sidebar, and then on the either end of this toggle, there's a little end that can sort of make your MIDI blocks fatter. They can go to an all-you-can-eat buffet during COVID and just get going. There we go. There's our groove. Yeah, Dave, we got a beat. So what we're gonna do with the beat is this is just a simple groove, but what we want to do is we want to program a fill-in. What's a fill-in? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. A little fill in a drum beat is when the drummer might play some different drums on the kit. Like most of the grooves that you hear drummers do is just done with the kick drum, which is the big bass drum, right? The snare drum, which is like the left hand. Generally, if you're a right-handed person, your left hand sort of hits the snare, and then your right hand sort of works the hi-hat, and we need the right hand because the hi-hat tends to do faster sort of beats or wants that option. Both hands need to be killer if you're going to play drums. So anyways, so the majority, so the beat is usually comprised of those three elements: the hi-hat, keeping time, and the kick and snare, kick, snare, kick, snare. So that's how mostly the beats come together. Fill-ins happen with the toms. You know when you see a drum set, there's rack-mounted toms. So they might do something that fills up space and it builds energy into the next measure. It doesn't necessarily, the time doesn't get faster. We don't the time of the whole song doesn't speed up, but the drummer fits more notes in over the course of time. I'm getting complicated. I don't want to complicate this. It's actually a simple procedure. So songs often go for like 8 measures. Okay, so here's a beat. I'm going to duplicate this beat. Okay, I've got it highlighted here. You can see my everything arrow up here. I'm grabbing the blob here, or just my sort of MIDI track, and you can see if I'm down here, it moves my selector, right? But if in the top part of this little blob, if I click on that, the whole thing gets highlighted. Now I can duplicate it by just simply going Apple D. So there's 4 measures, right? And then here's the 5th measure. We can even, we can even add a I just want to add a simple that symbol will do. It might be too loud. I just feel like something a little higher sounding. That's better. Oh, it's like an open hi-hat slice. Can't find a good. Forget it. We're back down. Gosh, lost it. Lost it, everybody. Got lost in the sounds. I'm going to just make the velocity lower on that crash. Oh, it's way too low. No. Bring it up. That'll sound nice in the song. It's just drummers tend to do that. They sort of like mark different sections in the song so that the band knows where they are. And then what I'll do is I'll copy this, hit Option, grab it, and then that will sort of duplicate it. Now I can have another section here without the crash in it. So this is measure 6. You can see in the timeline up here, right? Measure 6, and then 7 and 8. So now that brings us to 8. So, in fact, what we could do, just if we were to build this into a song, we'd want to move everything over to maybe measure 3 to start the whole thing. And maybe just do like 4 hi-hats to give a little count in for the band so that they know when to come in. So we can just do that's like the foot hi-hat. So we'll just go. We can even like. can even go that. Yeah. That higher. No, we don't need that. We don't need that little thing at the start. So now we've got our beat going. The whole song sort of grooving for about 8 measures. One, two, three, ba-da-ba. So what we're going to do is in this last measure, in the 8th measure, we're going to build a fill that sends us to the next measure. So I'm going to duplicate this. So this will be the beginning of a second section, maybe like a second chorus or a second verse or whatever. And, you know, it usually ends with a nice crash cymbal again, right? Like, or starts like the crash cymbal tends to sort of bring something in. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus here. I'm going to hit my T key on my keyboard, which will expand this. And I have to scroll back. And I'm going to do it one more time. All right. And then we just want to sort of look at the last beat. So the last beat is here. This is, you can see up here in our little grid, this is the 10th measure, and this is the 4th beat of the 10th measure. Keep in mind, we had 2 measures of silence. I don't want to get too mathematical. You don't need to think in those terms for this. But in order to give ourselves a little bit more room to groove this idea, we're going to switch the grid to 16th notes. Okay, so I've switched the grid to 16th notes, and I'm going to erase the hi-hats. And I'm going to toggle down with my little thing here and get rid of that snare drum. We may add one, but so we're going to do a fill-in. So now the 16th note grouping gives us 4 possible hits to build energy into the next section of the song. So we could start the fill with a kick, and then we could even hit another kick and then just hit one tom, right? I'm going to actually give ourselves a little bit more headroom here so that I can play with the toms up here. So let's just maybe increase the volume on that tom. So let's hear what that would sound like coming into the measure. So we've just added a kick on the first 16th note and snare. Now, a big part of how you're going to be able to sculpt this and make it sound human is by changing the dynamics. That means how hard something is hit. That means the velocity. So, right, this little section here, by clicking on it, it gives us access to the velocity for the hit. So let's just listen to this measure here. It's a bit boring, right? I mean, it might sound good going in. No. Maybe have this floor tom nice and loud. Let's bring it up. See what that sounds like. You know, you could even give it like a little bit more. Like if you wanted a little bit of extra energy, you could hit like a 30-second notes. Heard a 30-second note vibe. Whoa, here now we're getting into something. That's starting to sound cool. And then maybe make the first hit quiet. Maybe hit this like a little short one loud. Maybe hit the snare drum here and make it nice and, yeah, it's good and loud. Try the snare. Oh, hit a hi-hat maybe. And then one thing that you could do, like, I mean, I don't even know, is that too much? Like, so with this 30-second notes, you're getting some real, you know, you may have to move things around a bit. To me, that's just a little bit much. I'm gonna undo. Okay. You know, let's keep it 16s. We'll keep it nice and simple, okay? So we're going back to 16th notes. Now there's a nice simple fill. You know, we've got a nice little floor tom hit here. And then the kick sort of comes on the end, so it goes one. It goes one and a. So we're skipping the E, right? We're skipping the. I wonder if I can. I don't think that changes much, but there's a great little fill in. All right, so that's just something that a drummer would do, you know, and it would give a lot of energy to the tune. I'm going to boost the volume a bit, and right, we've got a real sense now of the fact that we're in a new section of the song, and I'll just grab this measure here, and I'll hit Option, and then grab it, and drag it over, so that we can continue on. So this is going to be beat 1, and we're going to want 8 measures here. Okay. So beat 1. So this is, or sorry, measure 1. This is measure 2, and then we're going to duplicate that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so we're cool now. So now let's just listen to the drum set coming in. So we've got, you know what I'm going to do, just to give it a little vibe, I'm going to highlight everything, and we're going to hit, so if you go up to the top, I'm going to expand it using my T key. Here's Q. Now that brings up the quantize window. And what we're going to do is we're just going to swing it a bit. We'll give it a 16, like just like 13%, okay? And we're going to hit quantize, and it'll just tweak, it'll just like lean everything a little bit more human. It's just going to give it a little bit of a vibe. Yeah. You know, I feel like in hearing that, I might want to grab one little kick, right, and just hit Option, and then just sort of give a little bit of energy going into that 16th note beat. So I've grabbed a 16th note that will be a lead in to that first tom. And it just gives it a little bit more of a vibe. So we've got a nice, that's like a sort of an artistic fill, right? It's da 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 don't, right? It sort of has a groove, it has a vibe, and it's something that a drummer would do. You know, and it could sound quite good. You could imagine a nice bass line going along with this, and it's sounding quite sweet. So there's a little tidbit for you guys. We'll just listen to it one more time. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm digging it. And then what we might do here, so now we've gone 16 measures, right? Of course, we would do another fill, or something to send it into what might be the chorus, right? So I'm going to duplicate this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a kick drum. I'm going to do 4 on the floor. So I'm going to hit Option, and I'm going to move this kick over here with the snare to give it more energy, and maybe no, it sounds like dinner time. It's like I just want to like slightly. That just sounds like a slightly sloppier. And then maybe we'll put this here. And then get the closed hat sound, right? And then maybe we could do those every once in a while too, right? Like that. And then maybe we've got this groove here. Oh, actually, I've got a better idea. Sorry about dragging you through the gutter there. Boom. Okay, let's bring the hats up. So rather than get the dirty hats going there, let's do something that just gives the groove more energy. So we've got this little open hi-hat at the beginning of the measure. But now what I want to do is add a little 16th note hat vibe here. So let's see what that sounds like if we just add a 16th note to that. And maybe add another, hat here. Maybe keep it kind of ghosty and quiet. Make sure we hit the quantize again to sort of give it that human vibe, right? And bring the volume down a bit because we're clipping out up here. So now we've got a great chorus part, right? We could just maybe send this for 4 measures or 6. Let's do it for 6. And then I'm going to close this off. So here's the beginning of the tune after our hi-hat foot lead in. And now we can duplicate it. And now, we're at 1:30. This is how, generally you can start a song with anything you want. You can start a song with a drum beat like this. This is giving it some nice shape, using shape, incidentally. And now we've got a cool chorus happening, and then, another 16 bars, and then another 6 measure chorus. So let's just listen from the top to what we've got. Oh, we can't hear anything because it's muted. I did that just to see if you were listening, see if you're on your toes. My cup says reinvent, okay? And I want you to reinvent. You know what? Just by doing it yourself, you're going to end up doing it your own way. And just don't be shy. Just dive in, make music. Okay, second measure here, or second verse, right? Here comes the fill. Now we're in the next verse, right? I guess it's really like the first. This is the second verse. Now we didn't build a fill into the chorus, but that's all right. 2, 3, 4. and then now we're back into, and I want something definitely coming out of that chorus. And then we'll hit our crash, right? And maybe a little, just a simple fill in here. There's a simple fill in. We could even add a little bit more energy to it. Oh, it does sound nice with that little hi-hat, eh? Like, I'm just going to actually increase that hi-hat's velocity. And that sort of gives it the energy that it needs to go to the next measure. So, and now we're back into the verse, right? Let's go back to the beginning of the chorus. And we'll see if we can find a little fill in to make that better. I might just increase the velocity on that tom. That's better. And maybe add some velocity to that first hi-hat slice, right? Just to give it. Now we've got it. Now that I hear it, I kind of feel like these guys could be louder here. Maybe a little bit more with this kick, and then maybe this tom could be a little bit louder, just to there. There's a nice little fill bringing us our next verse, right? And that's all we've got. So, guys, that's a lot today, but it is simple, right? Like, we're looking at eighth notes. We're looking at some 16th notes to add energy. You don't have to go past that. Don't go into 32nd notes yet. Use the 16th notes and velocity and the different drums to add energy in the transitions to the parts. This is a cool little disco funk beat. I kind of want to build a song around it, to be honest. And I just might do that, but I'm not going to do it right now. But I hope you guys dig this. I want to talk a little bit more about just groove and how important it is to the song. You don't have to necessarily program like this. What we're doing for this basic sort of course here on how to build great little rhythms to work with when you're programming beats is we're thinking like a drummer. We're playing beats, we're programming beats that a drummer could play, and something that is humanly possible and that would sound very good. Go listen to Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. Listen to how beautifully simple that drum beat is, but it just sounds so good. The sounds they used were so good. The mix was so good. The song was so good that drum beat is timeless. But it's just like this. It's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's at a different tempo. And that being said, now that we've programmed this, we could try it at different tempos. Like, let's slow this thing down and give it a shot here. Maybe leading into the kind of a slow funk. It sort of exposes the electronic drums in nature, doesn't it? I want to kind of bring it up to 91. There's 96, 107, 111. Go. Yeah, it's just pretty sweet. 1 second. Just to give it some context, I'm just gonna like improvise a guitar funky line to it, okay? So let's listen. Sorry, I missed the start. So it's a little sloppy, right? I'm not like too warmed up, but or even necessarily like feeling like that was like a good idea. But a couple of the things worked, right? Going to the F and then up to G, and you get a sense of how, you know, the drum beat sort of shapes the song, and you can just put chords around that and add melodies. You know, dive in, get yourself something cool, you know, some UA gear, like a nice little input-output unit, and just start making music, guys. I'm here to help. Leave your comments below. Stay cool and keep grooving hard, everybody. All right. Peace. Guys, thanks for watching that video. This is Beyond the Beat. Definitely subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hit the bell, and it really helps us. That's how we move forward. So guys, we dig making these videos for you. I'm gonna go take a walk with my good buddy Chris. He brought me this beautiful cup of deliciousness. It's gonna be sweet. We're going to walk by the water. Very romantic stuff. Okay, guys, stay cool, stay hip, stay groovy. I'm Dave.